Hello, and welcome to AHS Health Matters. My name is Kelly Morris with Alberta Health Services. For today's episode of AHS Health Matters, we're here today outdoors on this beautiful fall morning at the Helen Schuler Nature Center. I'm excited to introduce you to a lineup of guests that will share with us different ways to stay active and healthy as we head into the cooler seasons. First up, we're going to talk about Wellness Wednesdays, a new free health and wellness program for older adults in the Lethbridge area. Presented by Healthy Lethbridge and funded by the Government of Canada's New Horizons for Seniors program, the Wellness Wednesdays program aims to make Lethbridge one of Canada's healthiest cities for seniors to age well and thrive in. Joining us today to tell us more about Wellness Wednesdays is Diane Gallagher and Kathy Lewis. Diane is the Be Fit for Life project coordinator and is passionate about building and supporting lifelong health and wellness opportunities in our community. Her background includes exercise therapy, education, and community recreation for all ages. Kathy is a retired healthcare worker with an interest in all aspects of aging, an interest that was sparked by the Blue Zones Longevity Initiative. She is a board member with Healthy Lethbridge, working to make Lethbridge the healthiest city in Canada to live in and age well. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining us today. As we get started here, why don't you tell us what is the Wellness Wednesday program and how did it come about?
Thanks very much, Kelly. We've been working on the Wellness Wednesday project for almost a year and a half now. Initially, we were hoping that we would be able to bring the Blue Zones project to Lethbridge. We had heard about it through the Airdrie Blue Zones initiative. And Blue Zones is a project that was initiated by Dan Buettner, and he is a National Geographic explorer writer. And he was the one who discovered what he called the Blue Zones, the areas in the world where people live the longest and the healthiest lives. And from that, he developed all of the components that came into why these people were living longer, living better, happier, were well and happy, doing well into their retirement years, so well past 100 for many of them. So we looked at that project and we thought we'd like to have it in Lethbridge. With the pandemic, we've had to pare back our efforts. We got a grant from the Government of Canada, the Seniors Wellness Project, and through the Be Fit for Life project, Healthy Lethbridge, we were able to draw on some of the components of the Blue Zones project and bring them to Lethbridge through Wellness Wednesdays. So we're very happy to have had the opportunity to do this, and it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Kathy. So what kinds of presentations and events do you have planned? Diane?
Thanks, Kelly. So we have a wide variety of topics that we're presenting on. Generally, they're focused around active living, eating wisely, and good mental health. So we've had topics such as Mediterranean-style eating, Tai Chi, yoga, pole walking, aquafit. We've had some presenters on having hope, how to keep a sharp mind as we age. Each month we offer 2 virtual presentations as well as 1 in-person presentation. Generally, the in-person presentations are more active-based and the virtual presentations are more informational-based, and we just do those over Zoom, so it's allowed us to reach a good audience in our communities.
Who do you have coming in to teach all of these different events and presentations?
We have had a great variety of health and wellness professionals from our community who've been really eager to be part of the program. It's really great to see that community support coming out. So we've had dietitians, we've had some doctors, researchers from the U of L, mental health professionals, some teachers, and exercise professionals helping us.
So how do you see a program like this, the Blue Zone Project, Wellness Wednesdays program, how does this benefit our community?
Well, I think as Kathy talked about, we're looking at trying to make Lethbridge an area where people can live well and thrive in. So we're hoping to educate people and inspire people to take on more of these opportunities, integrate them into their lifestyle. So it's not just an event they do now and again, but it becomes a lifestyle choice for them. And we really think that that stems from people having the knowledge of what they can do, what's available in the community for them, as well as being inspired to actually participate in some of these community activities. So we hope that that's what we'll bring to the community.
Well, it's great that you've been able to adapt throughout the pandemic and have different opportunities in person as well as online. How can people get involved? You mentioned you've got a couple coming up this month and running right through until March. How can people get involved?
Now, the program is free. I don't think we've mentioned that yet, but that is kind of an important piece. So this is a completely free program for all our participants. There's no requirement to pay for the service. However, we do encourage people to register so that we can keep in touch and let participants know about upcoming opportunities and presentations. So we do have an Eventbrite page that people can register on. The best way probably to access that is through the Lethbridge College Be Fit for Life webpage. If you visit the webpage there and you just scroll down to find the Wellness Wednesdays heading, there's information about the program as well as a link for registration. Alternatively, you can give me a call at the Be Fit for Life Center at Lethbridge College. The phone number is 403-382-6919.
Great. We'll make sure to get all that information up on the screen. That's the Lethbridge College Be Fit for Life website, as well as you can give Diane a call at the number on the screen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that everyone gets out and checks out the Wellness Wednesdays program starting this month and running right through until March 2022. We'll be right back on AHS Health Matters. Welcome back to AHS Health Matters. I'm Kelly Morris with Alberta Health Services. And today we're down here at the Helen Schuler Nature Center talking about ways to stay active and healthy as we head into the cooler months. I'm joined here today by Helen Schuler Nature Center Program Coordinator Jessica Deacon-Rogers, and she's going to share with us some of the benefits to spending time outside and invite you down here to the Nature Center to check out some of the activities that can keep you active this fall. Hi, Jessica. So tell us, what are some benefits of spending time outside?
So people often think about spending time outside as being a very important physical activity. But studies have been showing over the past 10 or 15 years, there's been a lot of research about the important benefits of being outside, not just for physical wellness, but many other types of wellness as well. So a lot of the research has focused on children, and they found that kids actually have increased academic performance based on the amount of time they spend outside, which is really, really interesting to think about. They've also found that kids' concentration really increases after they've spent time outside, as well as their creativity and problem-solving skills are much, much better after spending periods of time outside each day. So it's really important for child development in many different ways, as well as their physical activity levels and then that sort of thing. For adults, it's also very, very important to spend time outside. So it's not just kids that should spend out time, it's also people of all ages. And I think we often forget that, because I think people innately know that it's important for kids to be outside, but they forget as an adult it's super important too. So for adults, it's very important for many reasons. Some of which are stress relief. I think in the past year, people have really been walking outside a lot to relieve stress in many different ways, and it really does help if you go for that short walk outside. I know I personally feel a lot better just having spent time outdoors in different settings. It also helps with things like energy levels. So after you've spent time outside, you often feel rejuvenated and excited and ready to seize the moment or seize the day, and it helps with that energy too. Another interesting finding that I read recently was that people that spend time outside often are more generous towards others, which is really interesting. They found people spending time outside actually are more likely to give back to community and volunteer in the community in different ways. So being outside benefits us in so many different ways that I think a lot of people didn't even realize. It's really important.
That's really very true. I've noticed it myself, working from home over the past year and a half, just taking a few minutes to get outside, go in my garden, that type of thing. It really just brings that energy back. So down here at the Nature Center, what type of activities can people be doing outside?
So we have lots of different types of activities that individuals can come and do. We have self-guided trails that are in the park, and so they have beautiful brochures that go along with them. If you're looking for going going out for a walk, but you want a little bit of purpose to your walk, or maybe you want to learn something while you're walking, we have 3 self-guided trails. They're a kilometer long each, and they all start within the park close to the nature center. There are brochure boxes on the trailheads, and they're always stocked so that you can pick up that brochure. So that's if someone wants to go for a walk, wants to learn a little bit, doesn't want to just walk in the river valley. Just walking is fantastic as well, but it's kind of a resource for things that you can do as well. We also have a program called the Outdoor Adventure Activities that we've been putting out throughout the city in the past year and a half. What we do is deploy different exhibits and signs in different parks throughout the city. So you'd be walking on the trail and maybe see a small circular sign that says, like I Spy is one of the ones that we've done. So I spy something purple, and it's a picture of a flower. And so you learn the name of the native flower, and then you have to look for it in the park. So they're kind of unexpected interactions on the trail, ways for people to kind of engage with the outdoors when they are outside and learn a little bit as well. Throughout the fall, we are going to be putting activities out, but more over holiday weekends. So we'll have activities out more around Thanksgiving later on in November. We also partner with the library to set out story walks, so books out on trails with activities along with the books, and we usually put out 3 or 4 a year. So that's kind of a fun way to learn more while you're outside and still being active, engaging in the outdoors, and getting to learn a little bit about that space. For families, we also have lots of different activities. We have a set of brochures we developed in the past year that are really simple activities that you can do outside, and they help people build all those things I was talking about for those benefits of nature. So there are short activities, 5 to 10 minutes. The materials you need are easy. Mostly you just need to head outside with yourself and your senses and someone to spend a bit of time with, and really simple materials like a pencil. And we have a few different brochures that are available at the Nature Center as well as on our website. That you can take, and it helps to kind of deepen and strengthen that time outside and learn more about the world around you when you are there as well.
Well, that's amazing. It sounds like it gives you a real purpose or a new reason to go outside and just explore our surroundings. You mentioned some activities for families. I know that throughout the pandemic, I spend a little bit more time alone or just with my family. Love them, but maybe I want an excuse to get out with a group. Do you have some activities for groups available as well?
So we have a few different types of group programs we're offering this fall. If you have children and are looking to get them outside a bit more, we have a Saturday morning program that we call Junior Naturalist Club, and it's a month-long program, like a course. So you would come for 4 Saturdays in a row from 10 until noon, and the kids get outside with one of our staff and do all sorts of different activities. We're spending the entire 2 hours outside with them, which is really, really fun. So we have programs right now for September, October, and November that people can phone or go online and register for. We also have a program we're offering this fall for preschoolers and their parents called Big Bird, Little Bird. We usually run it in the summer, but we have found we've got some time to offer it this fall. So we do have a September session that's just starting. We're hoping to be able to offer one in October, and it's the same where you would come once a week on Thursdays for an hour with one of our staff and spend that time outside. And it's a great way for parents to connect with kids and connect with nature and learn from our staff how to engage kids in spending that time outside. So those are kind of more children's programs. For families, we do have something called a Discovery Walk that we offer once a month. It's usually the 3rd Sunday of the month from 2 to 3 p.m. There's no fee for it, so anybody can come. It's an hour-long walk with one of our staff. We do ask people to phone and register just so that we know how many people are coming, and then also have contacts for who was with us as well for the program. But we have one coming up on the 11th, so the 12th. It's this coming Sunday, and look for one in October as well, that third Sunday. And then the final group program that we have is something called Family Field Trips. So if you did want to spend time with your family, or maybe a family and a few friends or relatives, if you wanted to bring them with you, for groups of 10 people or less, we have family field trips. And so we have different topics. It's an hour-long program with our staff. They are booked in advance and paid for, and we spend time out in the park with you doing all sorts of different activities and things like that. So yeah, those are some of the different group programs. If you have a bigger group of people, so more than 10 people, and you're looking to get out, I know we have done some professional development with different businesses, as well as with different groups. So the college, the university, schools as well, things like Cub Scouts. And we have different programs that we offer outdoors for a wide variety of ages and groups too. So you can always contact us and let us know that you're interested in something like that.
Wow, that is so much more than I had any idea took place down here, and I'm certainly going to be bringing my kids down. Remind us one more time, how can we get involved in these programs? come down here? You mentioned a website. Tell us how we can find out more.
So the Nature Centre's website is lethbridge.ca/nature, and all of our programs and information can be found there. You're always welcome to also phone us. So our number is 403-320-3064, and we have staff working 7 days a week. So there'll be always someone here to answer questions or help you out as well.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica, for being with us on AHS Health Matters. I hope that all of you watching today will join me, my family, and friends down here in the Helen Schuler Nature Center this fall. There's so many activities to do, and I just hope the weather stays like this. Thanks, Jessica. Welcome back to AHS Health Matters. I'm Kelly Morris with Alberta Health Services, and today we're down in the Helen Schuler Nature Center enjoying the outdoors and talking about ways to stay active and healthy this fall. Now I'm joined by Ashley Bray, a registered dietitian with Nutrition Services, and today we're talking about whole grains. When Canada's new food guide was released in 2019, there was a much larger emphasis on whole grains. What exactly are whole grains?
Whole grain simply means that all components of the grain are intact. So that includes the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. As you'll see in this image, the outer bran layer contains mainly fiber and vitamins and minerals. The germ, which is the inner layer, has vitamins, minerals, as well as the unsaturated or healthy fats. And then the final part is the endosperm, and that's the part of the grain that contains the carbohydrate and a little bit of protein. So a whole grain will have all of those components, whereas a refined grain like white flour only has that starchy endosperm. So that's why whole grains are a better choice for you. Some examples of whole grains are oats, barley, quinoa, and then of course all of your whole wheat breads, pitas, wraps, all of those. So there's lots of healthy grains to choose from.
So why should Canadians be eating more whole grains?
Since whole grains contain all of the components of the grain, they have a lot more fiber than refined grains. And Canadians really aren't getting enough fiber. The average Canadian actually gets about 15 grams of fiber today, compared to the recommendation, which is 25 to 38 grams. So increasing your whole grains is one way to increase your fiber. And there's lots of reasons to increase your fiber. We all know that fiber keeps you regular, but fiber also can help lower your cholesterol, it can help lower your blood sugars, and it can even help you control your energy intake throughout the day. So because fiber helps keep you fuller for longer, you may feel the need to snack less frequently throughout the day.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So for individuals and families that maybe are new to whole grains, they're not incorporating it into their diet right now, what are some tips that you could share for how people can add more of these whole grains into their diet?
That's a great question. So there's lots of ways that you can add whole grains to your diet. One of the easiest ways is to swap out refined grains for whole grains. So for example, if at breakfast you typically have a lower fiber cereal, you can swap that out for oatmeal. Or if you want something on the go, you can even do overnight oats. So what that is you just combine milk and oats and put them in a jar in your fridge overnight. And then the next morning, the milk will have softened the oats and you can top it with some of your favorite toppings like fruit, nuts, or seeds. Some other ways to increase your whole grains is to replace your white pasta with a whole grain pasta. I usually recommend people start with a smaller or a thinner pasta like macaroni or spaghettini because it helps you get used to the chewier texture better. You can also do half whole wheat pasta, half white pasta. Just remember to check the label for the cooking times because whole wheat pasta usually takes a little bit longer to cook. And you can do the same thing with rice and other grains. If you like tacos, you can swap out the white tortilla for a whole grain one or a corn one. There's lots of options to increase your whole grains, but really the best way is to look at what you're eating right now and just make simple swaps one meal at a time until you're moved up to eating about a quarter of your plate whole grains as recommended by Canada's Food Guide.
So you're recommending finding some alternates to what people are currently eating. When I'm at the grocery store, how do I know that I'm buying whole grains?
So when you're shopping for whole grains, there's a couple things you're going to want to look for. The first thing is you want to look to see if the package says 100% whole grains. That's not the same as multigrain. What multigrain is multigrain means that there's multiple grains in the product. And those could be refined grains or they could be whole grains. So really checking for that 100% whole grain term on there. The second place that you're going to want to check is going to be the ingredient list. So ingredients are always listed from the largest amount to the smallest amount. So you want to check and make sure that a whole grain is listed as the first ingredient. So by checking those two places, you'll be sure that you're choosing a healthy product.
If people are looking for more information, where can they go to find out more about eating more whole grains?
There's a couple places that people can look for more information. You can always go to Alberta Health Services nutrition website, which is www.healthyeatingstartshere.ca. Or you can check out Canada's Food Guide, which you can find at www.canada.ca/food guide.
Well, now I'm hungry. Time to go get some whole grains. We'll be right back. That wraps up this episode of AHS Health Matters. Thanks to all of our speakers today, Diane Gallagher and Kathy Lewis with the Be Fit for Life Wellness Wednesdays program, Jessica Deacon-Rogers with the Helen Schuler Nature Center, and Ashley Bray with AHS Nutrition Services. I hope you've all learned as much as I have today about ways to stay active and healthy this fall. Thanks for joining us on AHS Health Matters. We'll see you next time.